Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Mount Fitness MBS Ministry, where I am your host, Brother Minister Mongoose, and where this ministry is committed to living and promoting a holistic mind, body, and spirit path to health and wellness and to life overall. And this ministry puts a premium emphasis on those that the Bible refers to as the have-nots. So, again, welcome. I'm just going to take right off until today's message, man. I'll talk about some services that are provided by this ministry to, strengthen and nourish and rejuvenate the mind, body, and spirit. And time permitting, I'll also, maybe mention, as I typically do, when it comes to how these things, when taking this holistic approach, improves more than just one's mental, physical, and spiritual health and wellness, but also branches out to help one deal with the challenges, the success, the victories, the defeats, the setbacks in life, all that good stuff, so that in the midst of a success, one doesn't become arrogant and egotistical and lose sight of this thing we call God. And in the midst of setbacks and failures and shortcomings, one doesn't fall into hopelessness and despair and lose sight of this thing that we call God or the universe. So, I guess I kind of mentioned that just then, huh? Listen, man, today's message we're going to be talking about when properly merging, balancing, and synthesizing the mind, the body, and spirit. It inevitably leads one to attaining just a new attitude. A new and improved attitude. And I mean, that's like coming from the heart, from the spirit, not an attitude where, maybe there's been some mental exercises or some mental focus that, areas that one has improved in, so they're able to quote unquote fake it more because of their mental, growth or, physical maturity or whatever. So just get better at faking it. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about getting up every day and being able to smell the roses again. To feel the rain, on your face again. Look forward to the sunshine. This is what I'm talking about. Some of the very things that, because of life and all that we have going on in life and all that's going on in life itself, one tends to lose sight of. Those things and the appreciation of those things are renewed. And if I could, I will use the analogy of the kid, or, probably between that very precious age of, I don't know, maybe 9 through, well, it's a little bit different nowadays because, kids have to deal with so much more at an earlier age. But I think generally speaking, or at least in my younger era, between those ages of maybe 7 through 13, 12, 9, all that good stuff, comparing that or using that analogy is where one kind of end up at again, regardless of their age, 50, 60, 100 plus. You just end up back at that same heart set when you merge, balance, and synthesize your mental, your physical, and your spiritual health. That kid gets up. Now, I do have a pup that I am crate training, so we might have to deal with that. She was totally quiet. I waited for her to be quiet before I started this, and lo and behold, she heard my voice, and there she is. So please bear with me. But yeah, that kid, and you can think back to when you were that kid. Got kids nowadays, when they're at those precious ages, man, they get up every day. They get up excited. Every day they get up looking forward to the day with this attitude, whether they're thinking it out consciously or not, but with this attitude that says, wow, today's going to be a great day. I wonder what's going to unfold. whatever. Who am I going to meet? Who am I going to talk to? What am I going to laugh about today? Who am I going to play with? What are the challenges of today? They get up every day, and you remember that when it comes to yourself. Most of you, I know I certainly remember it when it comes to me. This is where you end right back at. The old saying is, once a man, twice a child. Once a woman, twice a child. Because if one lives long enough and grows and evolves long enough, not just living chronologically and getting older, no, that doesn't do it. Because again, some people can just get better at faking it. But growing and maturing and evolving internally, going on those great internal adventures, assessing yourself and seeing how far you've come and all the terrain that you still have yet to travel. You just wake up with a more all-around positive attitude, a new and improved mindset, heart set. And this does not mean, let me be clear, this does not mean that the storms of life, the challenges of life, the hustle and bustle of life, it doesn't mean that these things, dissipate. It's just that you become this new attitude. You're waking up like that kid, looking forward to the challenge, looking forward to the rain, the sunshine, the opportunity to problem solve, the opportunity to be creative and use your imaginative faculties and all these different things. You just renew through and through. And this is what the Bible refers to when the Bible says, be thee right, renewed in thy mind. Have a new mind. Pardon me. This is what the Bible is referring to. You're able to have this, achieve this. Again, it's not possible. It's not likely that you're going to end up there. It's inevitable that you're going to end up there. Because the goal of it all is to be at your best. Mentally, physically, and spiritually. Doesn't mean we know what that is. I'll mention that again later. But it's about you being at your best. Whether that's what the doctor would say, 100 pounds overweight, what society would say is 100 pounds overweight, what society may say is too thin. What society may say, you got to have this amount of money and these kinds of possessions and own this kind of car for you to be successful. You transcend all of that when you can look yourself in the mirror and say, hey, look, I'm at my best. And this may not be the best that I have for myself aligned for tomorrow and next week and 5 years and 10 years down the road. But right now, in this moment, I'm at my best. Why? Because I know I'm giving my best. And whether my best is moving me forward, in light years speed, or if it's so incremental that it's barely even or sometimes not even noticeable, I'm at my best. I'm giving it my all. You're giving it your all. And you end up at this place within yourself and your life journey that says, hey, I'm just a positive person. I mean, why shouldn't I be positive? Why shouldn't you be positive? You just end up at this place, man, where you're just so renewed, refreshed. Even as you go through the battles, the challenges, continued self-development and self-improvement, and all the things that's going on in life and society itself, what's going on in one's personal life, you just have a new attitude. You become more positive, more optimistic. You can sometimes look back at yourself and realize, wow, I wasted a lot of time. Maybe you wasted a lot of time waiting on the storm to pass. And you missed out on the fact that there's love, there's peace, there's joy, right there in the midst of the storm. So you stop waiting for the storms to pass. You stop waiting for everything to be perfect. The other old saying is, you don't need a perfect moment. You can make the moment perfect. This is where you end up at. Inevitably. Because you're just committed to getting up every day, whatever that looks like, doing something consciously, intentionally for your mental fitness, your spiritual fitness, and your physical fitness. You end up just walking around with being more hopeful. Again, being more enthusiastic when it comes to life. I may not have anything planned. You may not have anything planned. Young lady asked me a couple of days ago at the gym, what are you doing this weekend? I mean, not like trying to come on to me, just in a social way, like what you got going on this weekend. And I, at my age, it's pretty much it's just about me enjoying myself, taking care of a few tasks, engaging in some hobbies, kicking back, and prioritizing quality times with my grandkids and family. And there's in other words, you don't necessarily even have anything spectacular planned. That mundane stuff, again, just the raindrops. The warmth of putting on a sweater or wrapping up and cuddling in a blanket and just putting your feet up. You start feeling that again. And you begin to realize, wow, it's been a while since I've felt this. I do this every night. Or ever on a regular basis, but you start to remember how precious and enjoyable it really is. You just have more hope, more enthusiasm. You got that spunk, that fire. And again, you could be 100 years old. You could be 100 years or older. I know quite a few people that are older. One just turned 85, not all that long ago. Still up and about, still spry, still driving around in the city, pulling out the barbecue grill. So it's not about, taking off and, being able to run up and down the street and go on vacations. And it's just about the little things and the big things as well, if they're included. But the big things aren't necessary. It's the little things that you start remembering how much you enjoy these things, how much these things mean to you. So again, each and every day, doesn't matter what it is, doesn't matter how big or how small, what are you doing today for your mental fitness? What are you doing today for your spiritual fitness? And what are you doing today for your physical fitness? Leave me a comment, guys. Let me know. And let me know what you did yesterday. What are you going to do tomorrow? Let me know some of the benefits that you guys have been noticing as a result of, again, you haven't really done anything extraordinary. You haven't made any, world-changing, if you will, adjustments. Like you didn't start going to the gym 7 days a week and going to church 5 days a week and, doing crossword puzzles and problem solving and all these different things, 5 days a week. You just made the small incremental changes based on the commitment, based on your time, based on your schedule every day, whatever it was you did. You're doing something. Let me know what it was, and let me know the benefits that you guys have been receiving from embracing this holistic mind, body, and spirit approach to health and wellness and to life. This is what I got for you guys. Always remember, if you want something specific, whether it's physical fitness, mental fitness, and or spiritual fitness, the email link is down in the description box. The services that are provided by this ministry consist of youth and young adult mentoring and counseling, philosophical counseling, clean-hearted spiritual teachings and practices, and please go to the physical fitness website at mountfitnessmbs.com. If you have any questions about either or all of those different services, again, hit me up on the email link. Let's get you scheduled for your initial consultation and evaluation. If you got any value out of today's message, then please consider becoming a supporter of this ministry. To do so, you can do one or more of the following things. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and turn on the bell icon for notifications. Leave some comments. Investigate and or utilize the services. Also, please consider making a monetary donation. There's a Cash App link down in the description box if the Holy Spirit moves you to do so. But whatever you do, remember this. Whatever good seed that you plant into this ministry, you will receive an abundant harvest. That's not my word, that's his word. That he promises us, all of us, whenever we plant good seed into good ground. So don't keep this new attitude, this positivity to yourself. Go plant that. The more I give, the more I have. The more I give, the more I plant into the earth, into friends, family, strangers, the more I have. The universe is going to pour that right back into you. So keep that in mind, and then also keep in mind that when you take this holistic mind, body, and spirit approach, you just become so much more than you're probably even aware that you could even possibly be. This is the truth, guys, but don't take my word for it. Just commit to your mental, physical, and spiritual health every single day, regardless of how big or how small it is, the thought or the activity is, and watch God / the universe do what he do, or do what he does. This is what I got for you guys. Thank you so very much for all your love, your support. I value every single one of you guys. Have an awesome day, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Yes, I am Brother Minister Mongoose, and yes, I will